Niranjan Hiranandani.
Sadhguruji, Pranam, great respects for you. Question from the point which you put across that America became a rich country, prosperous, needed to have good food, nourishment, then went into chemicals. What next? And on a personal event, just to keep that on one side and ask you a relevant question, I've achieved in my life a lot of success in terms of my business, prosperity, charities, giving, whatnot. What next?
You built half of Bombay, you want to build the remaining half.
United States has moved from very hard work, 2-3 generations worked very hard to build that nation and made it into a great nation, and which brought enormous amount of prosperity. Whether we like it or we don't like it, if we check the trousers of half the people in this hall, they're all wearing blue denims. It's an American workman's clothes. This is not American elite clothes, this is American workman's clothes. American workman's clothes became phenomenal across the world because it spelled success. You must understand this. The only thing that people in the world will imitate is success. America spells success. Whatever America does, people want to do. If everybody wears blue pants, half the world is wearing blue pants. If they tear their pants, half the world is tearing up their pants. If they put carbon dioxide in a bottle and say this is the real thing, half the world is drinking it. So it doesn't matter what they do, everybody is doing it because America means success in most people's mind. So they're only trying to imitate success, they're not trying to imitate America. So what we need in this country is also that. America moved into chemicals because they made one mistake. They started making this one word, freedom, too much.
Freedom.
Freedom. The moment you talk about personal freedom, then you will tend to do irresponsible, freaky things. Instead of talking about freedom, you should have talked about the means to freedom. The means to freedom is responsibility. If you act in a responsible way, there will be freedom for all of us. Right now I'm driving on the street, I've been coming here thinking somebody told me it will take 15 minutes, max 20 minutes. Well, I've been on the street for 45 minutes because so many free drivers are there. Okay? If there were responsible drivers, we would come here in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It is not because there are too many vehicles, it is because there are a lot of free drivers, okay, who are coming in the opposite direction because it's a free country, they can go where they want. Some people are living on the street, some people are having discussions on the street, all kinds of things happening because it's freedom. We should never use the word freedom because it is a consequence. It's just like you want to grow flowers in your garden, you don't talk flowers. You talk soil, you talk manure, you talk water, you talk sunlight. Flower is a consequence. If you talk flowers, you will end up with plastic flowers in your house, you will not have real flowers. This is what happened to America. They started talking too much about freedom. Now in the name of freedom, half the people became freaks, which is costing heavily. 2-3 generations worked so hard to build that nation. Now if you… in a city, if you take 20 people off the street like that, there are only, in my estimate, only 5 to 7 people who have some qualification, who can create something for that nation. Rest are all freedom going on. Too much freedom going on, and you will lose it. You will completely lose it because you're talking freedom. If you create the ecosystem, freedom will happen as a consequence. You're trying to create flowers without roots, that's not going to work. India should not make that mistake. In fact, we are also… our urban societies are talking in the same language. In India, what to do? I have achieved material success. See, you must understand this, if I have to put it into very fundamental interpretation of this, your success in your commercial activity or your professional activity essentially means largely one large segment of that. There may be other element to it. Large segment of it is you have handled your survival process, okay? Our survival process is getting exaggerated all the time. What is survival is getting all the time exaggerated and the bar is raising, for which we're going to pay a huge price, okay? We must fix this is survival. Beyond that is about creating what matters to you. What matters to you genuinely as a life, not as a man, not as a woman, not as this caste or that caste or this community or that. As a human being, what matters to you matters to every human being, fortunately. Yes or no? If you create that in your life, once survival is taken care of, this is what you must do. But above all these things are still social activity. But there is a fundamental thing about you being a piece of life. But right now, most people are not life. They're just a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, opinions and prejudices. Their thinking, their psychological drama is life. I must tell you this, all of you should take time to do this. Every day in Mumbai, in Coimbatore, on an average, every day about 20 to 23 people die. Natural death and 2-3 accidents and something. In a place like Mumbai, there may be 150, 200 people or 250 people dying. I'm just estimating, guessing rather. You must see how people die. It's very important. Because most people believe other people die. No, you and me going to die, all right? Not today, we don't wish today, we want it to postpone it. We want it to be postponed as much as possible, but we will die. It's very important you see how people die. You will see, unfortunately, 80% of the people on the planet, when the moment of death comes, they're bewildered, they're not in pain, they're not even in fear, they're just bewildered. Because you'll see that sense of… that expression of bewilderment on their face, because it is like you went to the cinema theatre and in the first scene you fell asleep. Then, when the end happened, when the lights came on, you came up, you look bewildered because it's already over. You never saw it, but it's over. This is the experience because you are mistaking your thought and emotion for life. This is just your psychological drama, you can play it any way you want. There is no profound experience of life. This is what needs to happen because essentially you're here to experience this life, isn't it? Yes or no? Your thought is not experience of life, your emotion is not experience of life, it's a drama that you're creating and you think it's happening to you. No, you are making it up. Life is happening within you, it's a tremendous phenomena. The greatest phenomena that's happening here in this cosmos is life process, isn't it? And you are life. If you don't experience this and you built half of Mumbai, it's useful for other people, not useful for you.
Question in the back and then we come to Krishna.
Hello.
Oh, let…
Yeah. So I have a question on